Hi Virgos, this is Kathy. Welcome to my channel, Kathy Mamolen, Psychic Medium. Welcome to a timeless love reading for my Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Cross watchers are always welcome. Today, I'm going to ask my spirit guides for some guidance in a no contact situation, low to no contact. What is my person thinking and feeling? Where is this connection headed? What does spirit have for this connection in the future? Anything spirit wants to share with me. So if you are not interested in your past, this reading will not be for you. I'm warning you in ahead. So don't spam my comments and say, I don't want them back. This is for somebody who's thinking about a person they haven't heard from and they want to know what that person is thinking and feeling. So let's get started. Let's call in our spirit guides. Spirit, please share with me any loving messages for my Virgos from the person that we are thinking and feeling. What is going on around this energy at this time? What do you have for us? I am listening for you now. Hidden in plain sight. Okay. It feels like this is kind of a lizard feeling. It feels like they were trying to get away with something and they weren't getting away with it. Okay, like you're smarter than what they thought, you know, and maybe they thought you had no clue as to what was going on. You're smarter than what they thought is how I feel. And maybe their behavior lies, hidden secrets caught up with them. And there is a sense of, I don't know, maybe the truth always comes out and you knew the truth right from the beginning. And they played dumb is how I feel. You know, sometimes people think, oh, I'm pulling one off on you, but I feel like you kind of knew what was going on all along, but maybe you turned your head to it, or you ignored it, or thought something was going to get better, or you just didn't confront it even. Rehabilitation. Okay, so I turned a blind eye to somebody's problem. Maybe they're drinking too much, drugs. Maybe I allowed it. Maybe it was codependency. Maybe it was right in front of me all the time, but it got worse and worse over time. So somebody needs to either take care of themselves or change. I mean, hey, that is something that will definitely come between a relationship. Somebody's drinking is huge. You know, they just drink all the time and they ruin the relationship. Prioritize your reflection. You know, maybe you woke up and said, I have to come first. You know, the life I'm leading or the type of situation that I'm in is either hurtful or painful, or this person needs help. You know, maybe it's as simple as that. Like, somebody has to look in their own reflection and say, this person needs help, you know, or it could be you that, you know, you needed help and you got it, but they didn't, you know, it could be something like that. Like, you're feeling better, but they're not. A fighting spirit. I don't want to give up is how it came into me. I don't ever want to give up on you. And maybe we've been going through that for a long time. You know, I love you and I don't want to see you sick. I don't want to see you hurt. I'll fight for this. I want you to feel better. You know, and a lot of people go through that. So, but somebody has to change. And, you know, when spirit says, you know, it's this feeling of the secrets come out, or what they thought they're getting away with, they're not really getting away with. Maybe we were just like not saying it out loud, but you knew. I feel like you knew all along, you know, whatever the secrets were, whatever the behavior is. So, but, you know, secrets are hurtful. I mean, in any different way. You know, somebody says, no, I'm not drinking, but they are. They're hiding it. Look at these cards flying out. I just can't forgive myself. Yeah. So I think somebody wasn't taking care of themselves. I think somebody, you know, said, I promise I'm going to stop. And then lo and behold, they don't stop. And, you know, round and round we go. if loving you is wrong, then I don't ever want to be right. So I feel like I'm going to keep loving you no matter what. You know, that could be you. You could love this person no matter what. Lying was just easier than telling the truth. Sometimes that's what it comes down to. I just couldn't tell you the truth. I just didn't want to face my own reality. I just didn't want everybody to judge me. I didn't want people to know what was really going on in my life or how bad it had really gotten, you know, something like that. But, you know, truth sets you free also. And sometimes you got to push somebody away to show them that they've got to face their own demons. I'm taking a step back to figure out what I want. I'm taking a step back to take care of myself. That could be you. I had to take a step back so that I could do some healing. I feel like I wanted to tell you the truth, or I want to tell you the truth. So there's this sense of I kept holding back, you know, but I don't know. It's the person who doesn't have the courage. I didn't have the courage. There's something about, I just couldn't tell you because I knew it would break your heart. I didn't have the courage to tell you. I didn't have the courage to be honest. I just knew it was going to break your heart again. Like, I feel like we've been here before, and how many times are we going to go through this? Nothing compares to you. Nobody's going to tolerate this behavior. I feel like you are more forgiving than anybody, and they know it. They know it. I've been crying over you. Okay, so I'm sad. I'm in a bad place. I'm messed up. I know that we will have to fight for this love. Yeah, there's this incredible sense of I don't want to give up. I think that we both have been fighting for this love. You really were the best thing in my life. I think they do believe that. They do know that. So at least they're acknowledging that, you know, without you, it's definitely feels different. And I'm going to say I really messed up this time, you know, something like that. You know, I couldn't tell you the truth. And who was I kidding? I have a 5 of Pentacles. They made things worse. Somehow they made things worse. And I'm waiting for things to get better. Divine wisdom. Okay, it's an extra card in this deck. And I have an 8 of Swords. They definitely feel like they're trapped in some kind of cycle. And they just keep waiting for things to get better. And things don't get better until somebody changes. And that's probably what you guys have been going round and round with. Like, you can't just wake up every day and do the same thing over and over again and, of course, expect to change. There is a feeling of they feel trapped. So that could be connected to something else. That could be, I feel trapped in a connection with somebody else. I feel trapped with my work, my job, my financial responsibilities. I can't get out of debt, you know, so they could be stressing over a lot of different things, or all of the above. But it is a sense of, I just keep waiting for divine intervention to make my life better. And maybe they struggle with it just isn't getting better. But is it because they're not changing? Is it because they haven't done the work? I have a Page of Cups. I have an Ace of Cups. Beautiful. I have a 3 of Wands. And I have a 3 of Swords. You are the best thing that ever happened to them. You are, I feel like, the love of their life. And I feel like, I don't know how I did it, but I somehow broke your heart. And looking back at it, it's like, I just hurt the person that I love the most in the world. And I don't know how I got here. I feel like, yes, it is a result of their behavior. Yes, it's a result of their choices. But I feel like even though they know that, they can't wrap their head around how or why they did it. So I do feel like they are saying to themselves, you're too good for me. You know, here's this High Priestess, Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You're stronger. You're stronger and you're more spiritual. You are more pulled together than they are. You are definitely, have much more kind of grounded energy. You're probably keeping it together. You're probably keeping them together in a lot of different ways, spiritually, emotionally, financially. And there's this part of me that says they're waking up to, I just threw away the best thing that ever happened to me. I just hurt the person who's loved me the most in my lifetime. I just messed up big time. You know, that's an understatement of I messed up, or I keep messing up. And nothing I do is good enough, you know, like this feeling of nothing I say or do is good enough. And that could be just how they feel about themselves, or that they can't give you enough, or they can't pull themselves up out of something so that they feel proud of themselves, or they feel like they are in a really good place. But it feels like they're just having this wake up call of, why would I do this to myself? Why would I keep hurting myself this way? And if it is alcohol or drugs, I mean, it's an addiction, and they aren't accepting the addiction. And addicted people wake up every day and say, why am I doing this? And then they turn around and do it anyways, you know? So it's a disease that they have to address. I have an N. I have another N. I have an F. We're going to do first initials, last initials. Maybe you'll get your person's name. F, V, I. I have an L. A J. I have an S. I have a K. A W. I have a Q. I have a U. I have a J. I have an X. I have a Y. I have a G. A C. I have an L. I have a Z. I have an S. I have an A, and I have a Z. Okay, so some of you definitely could be connecting to that. I feel this overall energy of this person has to, I have to heal first. And that would be definitely the best direction they could go. That they actually take the initiative to say, I have to heal first. And then I can share my feelings with you. And then I can, you know, then we can talk, then we can start to heal, then we can start to heal together, then we can start to repair. But this person is probably thinking, I don't have anything to offer because I can't even, like, I'm not even taking care of myself or my best self, my highest self. So they're just struggling with kind of their own issues. Unlocking happiness, be vulnerable and open yourself to real love. Chance, free and exposed. So I do feel like you have their key to their heart. I don't feel like I am out running around to fall in love with other people. I feel that they blew it and they know it. And they've had, you know, either one too many chances, and now it's kind of caught up with them. Maybe they didn't think that this would ever come, that we would actually be separated, because there was always forgiveness. There was always, we'll keep trying, we'll keep fighting, we'll keep going, we'll love, no matter what, as long as we love each other, until, you know, the day comes and you're just so tired of the circle that we're going in that you can't do it anymore. Flying high, feeling infatuated or having an intense affair. Maybe there was an affair involved. Maybe somebody strayed, and, you know, it was quick and fast and didn't have any meaning, they'll say. but it was hurtful. And it, obviously came between us because you're trying to fight to save a relationship and they're out there having a good time. So that's kind of hard to accept. Nurturing and growth. Attend to your bond with love and patience. Trust, support. Do you trust me? Can you trust me? That I feel like that's a question that only you can answer. Can you trust me ever again? And sometimes that's what it comes down to. I can't be with you because I don't think I can ever trust you ever again. And that's when people really fear I've lost you forever because I'll never get that trust back. But we can rebuild trust. We can repair. People do it all the time. Being able to share your feelings. I need to be able to tell you how I feel. I need to be more vulnerable. I need to be more honest with you. I feel like I haven't obviously been honest with you. And that's probably what's hurt you the most, is that you can't trust what I'm saying. You can't trust that I'm sharing my feelings. Spirit, please share with me. I'm nervous. You make me nervous. Even just thinking about you, I get nervous. I'm not sure what to say or how to act around you. A little bit of walking on an eggshells energy going on, that I feel like both of us are nervous, that if I were to see you right now, I almost don't know if I would laugh or cry or scream or yell or holler, because I just don't know. The mix of emotions is just too much on any given day. But overall, I feel like I'm walking on eggshells, and maybe I was walking on eggshells in the past, right before we broke up, because I didn't know when it was going to explode. I didn't know when the last straw was going to, break the camel's back, so to speak. And it made me nervous and anxious within a relationship that I'm supposed to be fighting for, that is supposed to be the best thing that's ever happened to me. So nobody wants to be feeling like that. I have no one compares. No matter how many people I've met and experiences I have, there's no one who compares to you. So it doesn't have to do with I want to be with somebody else. I feel like this person's fighting their own demons. I'm going to say it that way. And we all know what that means. Everybody's got their own demons, and everybody's got their own vices, so to speak. And this person is, really having to push through something like that. So it's hard to be the partner. Wild side. There's a side to you I haven't seen, and I want to see you let loose and get wild, and let's have some fun. That's coming into me as maybe they were having a great time. Maybe they're out with friends. Maybe they're drinking and partying, and you're keeping it together. And you don't go there because you have to be the designated driver. You have to be the one that stays up and makes sure the kids go to bed. You have to make sure that if the house is going to burn down, that you're not passed out in the bed. So it's sometimes the one person who takes on the responsibility of, no, I've got to be the adult in the room while the other person's having a good time. It gets old. So if you had somebody who it was more important for them to be out partying and having a good time than having responsibility, and, they'd love to have a partner that's right in there with them, because then they can justify it somehow. But you are too smart. Look at you. You're so smart. Your intellect really turns me on. You're so smart, and I really enjoy our conversations. How about the fact that you were so smart that you were always doing the right thing, that you were always making sure that everybody's okay, or the bills are paid, or the electricity stays on, So sometimes it's like, I'm tired of being the only person here who's doing the right thing. So there's a part of me that says this person has to show up for sure. And this person has to be a lot more in tune with their own responsibilities. It's almost like they're kind of pushing their responsibilities onto their partner. And that's not fair either. right now, this person has a lot of healing to do. And I would say if they truly were going to change, there's a lot to fight for. They said you're both willing to fight for it, but this person has to accept some responsibility for that they have to change. They have to make a decision. Letting you down was the worst decision I made. So I feel guilty. I feel ashamed. I mean, guilt and shame at some point catches up to people. It does. You might not think so, but you know, if you love this person and you know this person and they've hurt you, you'd like to think that they regret things that they said, or they feel ashamed of how they behaved. Time has brought me clarity. I made the wrong choices. So time and separation is a beautiful thing sometimes, because it does allow the other person to feel their feelings. It allows them to see things for what it is. It allows them to feel the void, and the void hurts. I didn't realize I loved you until it was too late, and I'm sorry. So I think they knew they loved you. I think they just chose, whether it was partying or drugs or other people, selfish behavior over this relationship. And that's what caught up to them. Spirit, please share with me. I couldn't handle my true feelings for you, so I kept you as a friend, nothing more. Maybe they never admitted their true feelings, or they never committed to, you know, what we are to each other. But we both knew what we were to each other. We both knew that we were intimate. We both know that, you know, we were in a connection, and they crossed the line, Spirit just said, in some way. So even if you didn't define this as a, you know, we're significant others to each other, we didn't talk that way, you guys knew that somebody crossed the line. I'm feeling lost and I don't know what to do about it. I want you to be careful with this one, because that came into me a little bit of, I miss the person who always picks up the pieces of my shattered life. You know, I miss the person who always listens and tells me everything's going to be okay, and is my counselor, is my psychiatrist. It's not your job to fix them. It's not your job to help them when they need help. They're supposed to be there to help you, and you help them, and this mutual energy. But this came into me more as, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do without you, because I'm so used to you picking up the pieces. I'm so used to you putting my life back together, or telling me how to put my life back together. So there's a part of me that says, no, you're not going to pick up the pieces anymore. You're done. You can't fix them. They have to fix themselves. Being away from you hurts like hell. I didn't realize it would be this difficult. Yeah, because they're used to somebody always being by their side to make things right, who would say over and over again, you know, as long as we love each other, we'll keep getting through. As long as we love each other, we'll fix this. But it takes two. It takes two to want to fix it. I let my ego get in our way. I couldn't let go of my pride, but you saw through me. You know the truth. You know the truth about me. So they can't get away with it. You know, there was something right from the beginning of this reading that the energy was a lot about, you're much smarter than what they thought. You know, like they always thought they were getting away with something, and they weren't. They were fooling themselves is what they were doing. Whatever these feelings were, whatever has happened, they have to gain the courage, is what Spirit said. They have to no longer look like the victim and feel trapped in a situation. They have to realize that they can say and do things that are enough for you, but they have to do the right things. That is more important. So we're going to put this out into the universe. This person has a lot of work to do before they even come and approach you, I would say. And I would stand tall for yourself right now, so that you have a future for yourself, your future self, your higher self, and that you are making yourself a priority right now. So this person's got a lot of work to do, and we pray and we hope that they heal, so that they can come back to you as a changed person, and you both can continue this journey together, because they did say, I don't want to give up. And that does give me hope. So I'm going to put this out into the universe. I want to thank Spirit for this reading today. If you're new to my channel, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button, comment below. Thank you for being here. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, check out my website at kathymamolenspsychicmedium.com. If you're looking for other twin flame readings or no contact readings for your sign, or general collective no contact readings, check out my Twin Flame Soulmate channel, and I'll put the link in the description below. Hang in there, everybody, and I'll see you again in another Love Messages real soon.